Good afternoon, everybody. This is Professor Hill, and this is a short video for our class, Introduction to Ethics, Philosophy 2306 at St. Philip's College. Today's Friday, January the 26th, 2018. Oh my gosh. And this is the end of our second week of class. I've been posting videos for you as you got your books, and we also now have our first big discussion assignment due on Sunday night this weekend. So we want to make sure that we give a nice, good, comprehensive response to a difficult ethical dilemma and incorporate some of the concepts from Chapter 1. Which is why I've been walking through some of the key concepts. I know people didn't have their books yet. And so today I just wanted to quickly mention a little bit more about the descriptions he was talking about. If you develop this is part of Chapter 1, he's saying if you develop your own ethical framework, a decision-making model for attacking difficult ethical dilemmas, it should have some characteristics. It should be consistent. We started yesterday by saying it should be rational. Remember we talked about the preeminence of reason over other aspects of your body, including the emotions. And his point was simply that you need to do that because sometimes we can be overwhelmed by our emotions, especially when dealing with difficult ethical problems. And we want to be able to think our way through them, hence the focus on critical reasoning and logic. But it turns out we also want to deal with two more characteristics today. They're the next two on the list out of the four. And these kind of go hand in hand. They're universality and impartiality. And think about it this way. If you're going to have a system, some guidelines for your own ethical decision making, you want to have the framework be universal. And what we mean by that is it applies everywhere. So, for example, if you said, well, cheating on a test is wrong, it would make sense that cheating on a test is wrong at St. Philip's, and then it's also wrong down the street at SAC or UTSA or Trinity or St. Mary's or some other place. It would make sense that the same rules that apply at one place would also apply at the other. That's what they mean by they need to be universal. We'll come back to that one. Because the thing we need to put a pin in there is, do they need to be society-wide or global? And see, when we use the word universal, we mean everywhere. So universal, literally, throughout the universe. And we have already seen that there's lots of consistency from society to society. We've also seen how there's great differences, though. When we looked at the very beginning from our Pew Charitable Trust global survey on morality. So we'll come back to, do they need to be literally universal everywhere or society-wide? So we'll come back to that. So universal, but now also we've got impartial. And what that means is that if you have rules, universal rules, they need to apply equally to everybody. Again, sticking with the cheating thing, for example, it wouldn't be a good idea if your teacher came in and said, look, there's no cheating allowed on this test. Well, of course, for everybody except, Alejandro. You can cheat. And I think people would rightly look around and go, well, hold on a minute. Why does that one student get to cheat and nobody else does? So, yeah, in terms of consistency, once again, they need to be impartial. They need to apply evenly to everybody. So the rules themselves need to be consistent and universal, and then they need to be consistently applied impartially to everybody. That's why those two go together like, two sides of a coin. You'll see this description in Chapter 1 of our text, Doing Ethics by Vaughn. And then he lays out these four characteristics. I'll get to the last one tomorrow, Saturday, the day before our first big assignment is due. So we're getting to it. I want to make sure everybody's gotten their books, they've gotten through Chapter 1, and you apply it to your contribution on the case study. A couple of people have already started to sign in and make comments, but I want you to do that. I want you to make comments on your classmates' contributions, but I also want to make sure that you give one good, long, detailed initial response and then start to comment on your classmates. So we want the dialogue. Absolutely, we want that exchange. But we want to make sure also that you have a good contribution at the beginning. So, anyway, I'm sure you're working on that. Again, as always, if you have any questions at all, let me know. And I'm always happy to visit with you, answer your questions, help you out any way I can. So, again, for today, as we get towards the very end of week 2, I'll just sign off with best wishes. Take care, and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.